There is a renewed sense of optimism within BC's tourism industry as the economy improves and visitor numbers rise. And with tourism growth, jobs, and lots of them. In fact, a recent labour market study coordinated by Go2HR shows 101,000 new tourism job openings from 2014 to 2020 in all tourism sectors across the province.
Approximately half of those openings are due to growth of tourism, and the other half are because of retirements and the aging workforce.
While the growth is good news for the industry, Go2HR is cautioning that tourism businesses can expect significant labour shortage challenges due to a predicted labour supply gap of 14,000 plus positions during the growth period.
There are a number of challenges that we have in our industry over and above just the growth.
High numbers of seasonal jobs, ongoing skills shortages and training gaps, competition from other provinces and industries, altogether brewing the perfect storm. And the fastest growing concern?
Competing with the LNG and the resource sector growth is going to be a huge challenge for the industry. In fact, they need a lot of the skilled workers we do for the cooks and the accommodation workers to set up the camps and so on. So we need to, first of all, work together with that sector, but that's going to put a lot of downstream pressure on the service sector for sure.
This may explain why, even though shortages will impact different tourism sectors in each region, food and beverage and accommodation businesses will be some of the hardest hit across the province.
It's going to be a huge problem, which is why we need to be starting to act on this sooner than later.
The northern BC region is poised for nearly 4,000 of BC's new tourism job openings, mostly in the hospitality, transportation, and outdoor recreation sectors.
4,000 workers is a big number, and you got to remember that that's a number that you're competing against many other industries in northern British Columbia. It's not going to be an easy number to fill.
And with increased competition for workers from the resource industry compounding the ongoing challenge of limited labour pools, the region can expect a shortage of nearly 450 tourism workers to fill the job openings.
15 years ago, we had no problem finding people who were looking for work. In the last couple of years, we've seen that change somewhat as there's more job opportunities opening up within the north. And we've actually had to go afar to fill some of those positions and look for people outside of the community or train people within the community. So now we are actually in that planning phase where we're actually looking to see what we have on hand, who we may need, what skills we can look for. And realistically, when you're looking at some of these employment programs, you could be looking at a 2-month or 6-month. We had one gentleman come up from overseas that took him almost a year to get here, to go through the program to get here. So, I mean, you have to be looking at those kind of horizons to make sure you have the planning in place to fill those positions.
As a small business in direct competition for workers with the resource industries, the Pita pit in Terrace has to go beyond traditional compensation and training programs to develop and retain staff loyalty.
I'm terrified. I have key staff right now that if I lose them, I know I can't replace them. Of course, their expertise and experience is hard to replace, but just the quality of applications that we get coming through the door makes me very scared. We do a number of things. We do something called the Fanatic of the Month, where we give $100 to the staff member as voted on by the other employees who is the most fanatical about their job that month. I've done everything from buying iPhones and laptops for employees and just taking them out and buying them snowboard jackets. Certainly our wages are very competitive. We're seen as an entry-level minimum wage job in terms of what the industry standard is, but we have many employees making $14 an hour and more. We do everything we can.
With quality staff so critical to delivering quality visitor experiences, Tourism Northern BC is urging businesses to prepare for the challenges ahead by reviewing their own labour strategies and accessing the resources available at Go2HR.
As an organization, what we've been trying to do is to make sure our small, medium businesses in particular are knowledgeable about what Go2 provides, from job boards to training programs like the Cooks programs, so that they can have access to those resources that Go2 has.
To learn more about the tourism job growth in the northern BC region and to find ideas to address your own labour challenges, visit go2hr.ca/regions or call 604-633-9787.